William Henry Harrison was born on February 9, 1773, in Charles City County, Virginia, into a family deeply rooted in the history of the United States. His father was Benjamin Harrison V, a prominent Virginian planter and politician who played a vital role in the American Revolution and was one of the signers of the Declaration of Independence. Benjamin Harrison V's influence and status provided William with a privileged upbringing, immersed in the political debates and revolutionary ideals that were shaping the young nation. Growing up on his family's plantation, Harrison was exposed to the complexities of plantation life, including the management of large estates and the social responsibilities that came with his family's prominence. From an early age, William Henry Harrison was educated in a manner befitting his social standing. His education included private tutors and exposure to political discussions at home, which fostered his interest in public service. As a young man, he demonstrated an adventurous spirit and a keen interest in military affairs. At just 19 years old, he began his military career by joining local militia units during conflicts with Native American tribes, and later participated in various military campaigns that would define his reputation as a brave and capable leader. Harrison's early military service was marked by his participation in expeditions against Native American tribes in the Northwest Territory. His leadership qualities became evident during these campaigns, earning him recognition and respect among his peers. His experiences in these frontier conflicts helped shape his understanding of American expansionism and national security issues. These early military endeavors also laid the groundwork for his later political career, as military service was highly regarded at the time and often served as a stepping stone into national politics. In 1791, William Henry Harrison embarked on his military career by joining the United States Army at the age of 18. This decision was driven by his adventurous nature, a desire to serve his young nation, and the opportunities for personal and professional growth that military service provided during a time of significant frontier conflicts. Harrison's early enlistment coincided with a period of intense tension between American settlers and Native American tribes in the Northwest Territory, as well as ongoing disputes with British interests in the region. Upon entering the Army, Harrison was assigned to frontier duty, where he quickly proved himself to be a brave and capable officer. His youthful enthusiasm and leadership qualities earned him respect among his peers and senior officers alike. During this period, he participated in various military campaigns aimed at defending American settlers and asserting U.S. sovereignty over the Western territories. His experiences included engaging in skirmishes with Native American tribes resisting American expansion, as well as navigating the challenging conditions of frontier life. Harrison's early military service was characterized by his dedication to duty and his ability to adapt to the rugged environment of the frontier. He learned valuable skills in combat strategy, leadership, and logistics, skills that would become crucial throughout his subsequent military campaigns and political career. His commitment to protecting American interests on the frontier helped establish his reputation as a determined and effective leader. William Henry Harrison served as the first governor of the Indiana Territory from 1801 to 1812, a period marked by significant efforts to expand American territory and influence in the region. As governor, he played a crucial role in negotiating with various Native American tribes, including the Shawnee, Miami, and Delaware, among others. Harrison believed that peaceful negotiations and treaties were essential for the orderly expansion of American settlements into indigenous lands. He actively engaged in diplomatic efforts, often traveling to meet with tribal leaders to discuss land cessions and establish agreements that would facilitate settlement and development. Throughout his tenure, Harrison signed numerous treaties with Native American tribes, which resulted in the cession of vast territories to the United States. These treaties often involved complex negotiations and sometimes coercion, as tribes were pressured to relinquish their lands in exchange for promises of payments, supplies, or other considerations. His policies and negotiations laid the groundwork for further territorial growth and settlement in the Midwest. However, these treaties also led to displacement and hardship for many Native American communities. In November 1811, William Henry Harrison achieved a decisive victory at the Battle of Tippecanoe, a pivotal event in the history of American westward expansion. The battle was fought near present-day Lafayette, Indiana, and involved Harrison's forces clashing with a confederation of Native American tribes led by the Shawnee chief Tecumseh and his brother Tenskwatawa, known as the Prophet. The Native American alliance aimed to resist American encroachment on their lands and to unite tribes in opposition to settlers moving into the Northwest Territory. Harrison, then serving as the governor of the Indiana Territory, led a force of about 1,000 soldiers and militia to confront this coalition. The battle was intense and fierce, lasting several hours. Harrison's troops managed to break through the Native American defenses despite facing significant resistance. Although the native forces retreated after suffering heavy casualties, Tecumseh was not present at the battle, as he was away rallying support among other tribes. The victory at Tippecanoe was seen as a major success for American expansionists and solidified Harrison's reputation as a capable military leader. Following the battle, Harrison earned the nickname Old Tippecanoe, which became a symbol of his leadership and resolve. The Battle of Tippecanoe had far-reaching consequences. It weakened Tecumseh's confederation and diminished Native American resistance in the region, paving the way for increased American settlement and territorial growth. The victory also heightened tensions with Britain, as some believed that British support had emboldened Native American tribes to oppose American expansion. Overall, Harrison's triumph at Tippecanoe marked a significant moment in early 19th century U.S. history, contributing to his national prominence and shaping the future course of westward expansion and Native American relations. The Battle of the Thames, fought on October 5, 1813, was a decisive engagement during the War of 1812 between American forces led by William Henry Harrison and a combined British and Native American force commanded by British General Henry Proctor. The battle took place near the Thames River in present-day Ontario, Canada, and was crucial in turning the tide of the war in the Northwest Territory. Leading up to the battle, Harrison's forces had been advancing into enemy territory after victories at other engagements. The British and their Native American allies, including Tecumseh's Confederation, sought to halt Harrison's advance and protect their interests in the region. As Harrison's army approached, Proctor's forces prepared to defend their position along a narrow front near the river. The terrain was challenging, with dense woods and marshy areas that complicated movement and maneuvering. On the day of the battle, Harrison's troops launched a coordinated attack against the British position. The fighting was intense and fierce, with both sides suffering casualties. Harrison's forces used artillery effectively to break through enemy lines. A key moment came when Tecumseh, who had been leading Native American warriors in support of the British cause, was killed during the fighting. His death was a significant blow to Native American resistance and morale. Following Tecumseh's death, the Native American fighters began to retreat in disarray. The British forces under Proctor were overwhelmed and eventually surrendered or fled from the battlefield. Harrison's victory effectively ended organized Native American resistance in the Northwest Territory and diminished British influence among indigenous tribes in that region. It also secured American control over this vital area and marked a turning point in the war. Between 1816 and 1819, William Henry Harrison served as a member of the United States House of Representatives, representing the state of Ohio. Harrison was elected to Congress shortly after Ohio achieved statehood in 1803, and by the time he took office, Ohio was still a relatively new and rapidly growing frontier state. As a congressman, Harrison focused on issues pertinent to his constituents, including land policies, westward expansion, and infrastructure development to support the growth of Ohio and the surrounding territories. During his tenure, Harrison was known for his advocacy of policies that promoted settlement and economic development in the western frontier. He supported legislation that facilitated land sales and settlement, which aligned with his broader vision of American expansionism. His military background and reputation as a defender of American interests helped him gain influence among his colleagues. Although he was not yet involved in national leadership at this stage, his work in Congress helped solidify his political standing and prepared him for future roles in government. William Henry Harrison was married to Anna Tuthill Sims, a woman known for her grace, intelligence, and strong support of her husband's career. They married in 1795 when Harrison was still a young man, and their marriage lasted until his death in 1841. Anna was a dedicated wife and mother who played an important role in maintaining the stability and well-being of their large family. Together, they had 10 children, although not all survived to adulthood due to the high mortality rates of the time. Their children included John Scott Harrison, who became a U.S. congressman and served as a senator, William Henry Harrison, Jr., who pursued a career in law and politics, and other sons and daughters who led various private lives. The Harrison family was known for their close-knit relationships, strong family values, and dedication to public service. William Henry Harrison's wife, Anna, was often seen as a supportive partner who managed the household and provided emotional strength during his military campaigns and political pursuits. Their children carried on his legacy in different ways. Some followed careers in law, politics, or public service, contributing to American society in their own right. The Harrison family remained prominent in American history, not only because of William Henry Harrison's achievements as a military leader and president, but also through the notable contributions of his descendants, who continued to serve their country in various capacities. Harrison's time in the House also reflected his commitment to representing the interests of Ohioans and promoting policies that would benefit the expanding western frontier. Between 1825 and 1828, William Henry Harrison served as a United States Senator from Ohio, marking a significant phase in his political career. During his time in the Senate, Harrison was actively involved in national legislative debates and worked to promote policies that aligned with his vision of American expansion and development. As a senator, he supported initiatives aimed at encouraging westward settlement, including land policies that facilitated the sale and distribution of public lands to settlers and investors. He also advocated for infrastructure improvements, such as roads and canals, which were vital for connecting the expanding frontier with established eastern markets. Harrison's military background and experience in frontier affairs gave him particular insight into Native American relations, and he often supported policies that aimed to open up Native-held lands for settlement by American citizens. Throughout his tenure, Harrison was known for his advocacy of states' rights and limited federal government intervention, aligning with the political sentiments of many of his constituents in Ohio. His leadership in the Senate helped him build a reputation as a strong supporter of Western interests and expansionist policies. Additionally, he engaged in debates over national defense and military affairs, drawing on his previous military experience to influence discussions on the country's security needs. Serving as a senator during this period allowed Harrison to deepen his understanding of national politics, increase his influence among political leaders, and prepare for future roles in government. His time in the Senate was instrumental in establishing him as a prominent figure committed to the growth of Ohio and the broader United States, ultimately paving the way for his later election as president. Between 1828 and 1829, William Henry Harrison served as the United States ambassador to Colombia, a diplomatic position that marked his involvement in international affairs and further expanded his influence beyond domestic politics. During his tenure, Harrison was responsible for representing American interests in the region, which included promoting trade, fostering diplomatic relations, and encouraging cooperation between the United States and Colombia. His appointment came at a time when Latin America was experiencing significant political changes following independence movements, and the United States was interested in establishing strong diplomatic and commercial ties with these new nations. As ambassador, Harrison engaged in diplomatic negotiations with Colombian officials, working to open channels for trade and investment that would benefit both countries. He also aimed to support stability and peace in the region by strengthening diplomatic relations amid regional upheavals. Although his time in Colombia was relatively short, lasting about a year, his role demonstrated his versatility as a diplomat and his commitment to expanding American influence abroad. In 1836, William Henry Harrison was the presidential candidate representing the Whig Party, one of the two major political parties in the United States at the time. Harrison's candidacy was built on his reputation as a distinguished military leader, particularly his role in the War of 1812 and his previous service as a governor and senator. The Whigs aimed to present Harrison as a candidate who could challenge the Democratic incumbent, Martin Van Buren, and appeal to voters seeking change amid economic difficulties and political dissatisfaction. Harrison's campaign emphasized his status as a war hero and a man of the frontier, appealing to Western and frontier states where his military achievements resonated strongly. The Whigs also promoted policies that favored economic modernization, internal improvements, and a cautious approach to government intervention. Despite these efforts, Harrison faced an uphill battle against Van Buren, who was an established politician with strong support from the Democratic Party and had benefited from the popularity of Andrew Jackson's presidency. The 1836 election was highly competitive, but ultimately resulted in Van Buren's victory, with Harrison losing by a significant margin in both the popular vote and Electoral College. Harrison's defeat reflected the strength of Democratic support at that time and the challenges faced by the Whig Party in uniting behind a single candidate. Nevertheless, Harrison's campaign helped raise his national profile and set the stage for his future political ambitions. In 1840, William Henry Harrison achieved a historic victory in the United States presidential election, becoming the 9th president and the first member of the Whig Party to hold the office. His campaign was marked by a highly energetic and populist approach that aimed to appeal to ordinary Americans. Harrison's reputation as a military hero, especially his leadership in the Battle of Tippecanoe in 1811, was central to his image and campaign strategy. The Whigs capitalized on this by promoting him as a man of the people, contrasting him with the incumbent Democratic president Martin Van Buren, who was associated with economic difficulties following the Panic of 1837. The 1840 campaign was notable for its lively rallies, catchy slogans like "Tippecanoe" and "Tyler Too," and widespread use of propaganda that emphasized Harrison's frontier roots and military achievements. The campaign also employed modern political techniques such as mass rallies, parades, and spirited speeches to energize voters. Harrison's background as a frontiersman and war hero resonated with many Americans who valued rugged individualism and expansionist ideals. His supporters believed he represented a break from the political establishment and would champion policies favoring economic growth, internal improvements, and national strength. Harrison's victory was seen as a significant shift in American politics, signaling the rise of the Whig Party as a major political force capable of challenging Democratic dominance. His election reflected broader societal changes, including increased voter participation and the growing importance of popular campaigning. However, Harrison's presidency was tragically brief. He became the first U.S. president to die in office just 1 month after his inauguration in March 1841. He fell ill with pneumonia after delivering a lengthy inaugural address in cold weather, which led to his death on April 4, 1841. His death prompted questions about presidential succession and constitutional interpretation, ultimately leading to Vice President John Tyler assuming the presidency. Despite his short time in office, William Henry Harrison's election remains a landmark event in American history because it marked the first time a Whig candidate won the presidency and demonstrated the evolving nature of political campaigning. His victory symbolized a shift toward more modern electoral strategies and highlighted the importance of appealing directly to voters' sentiments and identity. Harrison's successful bid for the presidency also set the stage for future political contests that would continue to shape American democracy.